after 17 straight days of occupying the quad on DePaul's Lincoln Park campus at approximately 5:35 a.m. Thursday morning, May 16th, the DePaul office of the president sent an email saying the encampment was being closed down. It was the last remaining encampment at a Chicago university. The decision to remove the encampment came just days after DePaul President Robert Manuel said negotiations with the pro-Palestinian protesters had reached an impasse. Manuel said the encampment was being closed due to an ever-growing series of threats and other issues. Manuel said these included over 625 registered complaints from neighbors and community members, and over 425 registered complaints from students, faculty, staff, and parents. Manuel said, quote, "The situation had steadily escalated with physical altercations, credible threats of violence from people not associated with our community, an inability for other members of our community to take part in the core academic experiences on our campus, and an ever-growing series of threats to the people involved in the encampment and our community." Manuel also said, quote, "We are aware of a death threat against a student and reports of individuals threatening to slit the throats of people they perceive to be Jewish or in support of the Jewish state. We are also aware that there was a bounty put out to identify certain members of the encampment." Manuel went on to say, quote, "We have had instances of fireworks being lobbed into the encampment." He also said individuals from the encampment had started to place locks on the buildings adjacent to the quad and barricaded key entrances and exit points. He said, quote, "We had no choice but to act before we lost the ability to provide for the safety of the Jewish members of our community, to protect those in the encampment, to preserve the right of all other students, and to maintain university operations. But members of the encampment insisted that it was peaceful." Simran Baines, an encampment representative, shared her thoughts.
From day one, our priority has always been, one, standing in solidarity with the people of Palestine, which we will continue to do until Palestine is liberated. And then two, making sure the people who have been putting their careers, their academic futures, and their bodies on the line for this encampment are okay, and we're doing everything we can to help them recuperate physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Alderman Byron Sigcho Lopez was also critical of the university's decision.
Today, we have a responsibility to listen to the students who are rightly upset, frustrated, and angry.
Officer John Hine, Chicago Police Department Chief of Patrol, spoke after the removal of the encampment.
As the approach occurred, voluntary compliance, all individuals who were inside the encampment voluntarily left, no confrontations, there were no resistance. 2 arrests were made outside of the encampment for obstruction of traffic. A male and a female subject were placed in custody. A 21 and 25-year-old, they're taken to the 18th District, where they'll be processed and released.
On May 15th, just a day before the encampment was removed from the quad, a group of students participated in a walkout sponsored by the DePaul Divestment Coalition. Some of the students left their classrooms and made their way towards the quad to show their support for Palestine, the encampment, and the DePaul Divestment Coalition. Ther Al-Kiswani, who says he was there at the time of the encampment's removal, shared his experience of being removed by the Chicago Police Department.
As I was making pleads for the art, they were actively pushing me, shoving me, and aggressive. And I wasn't doing anything, no hands up, no anything. We realized that unfortunately DePaul chose violence against its students and its children and its community.
As crews cleared the encampment, the quad was closed off to students and community members. The 17-day encampment was now over. Reporting from the quad on the Lincoln Park campus, I'm Lena Gebhardt.